لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
Many of Islam's enemies, atheists and apostates, have gone to great lengths to mock the acts of worship performed by Muslims, such as prayer, fasting, and Hajj. They ridicule the adherence of Muslims to rituals that they describe as remnants of extinct paganism, especially in this age of science, artificial intelligence, and material dominance. They parrot these accusations without making the slightest effort to explore what Muslims, and even fair-minded non-Muslims, have written about the profound wisdom and immense benefits of these acts of worship. These acts transformed human life after the advent of the eternal message of Prophet Muhammad, reconnecting humanity with the heavens after being earthbound, enslaved by the constraints of flesh and worldly desire, their highest goal being the satisfaction of base urges. Such a view reduces man to a machine fueled until its expiration, depriving the soul of its nourishment even as the body is fed. And when either the body or soul lacks its sustenance, it perishes. These individuals' souls have died. So how, one wonders, can they still be alive? I wouldn't normally write about a topic that has already been addressed in hundreds of books throughout history, not to mention lectures, seminars, conferences, and academic theses. But amidst the chaotic surge of atheism, I have noticed the recurring mockery of Muslims performing tawaf around what they call a pile of stones and throwing pebbles at other stones. Sadly, this is how Hajj appears in the eyes of Islam's enemies, and even to those ignorant of Islam's essence. This view is shockingly superficial, lacking even a trace of genuine understanding or intellectual fairness. The human soul is naturally drawn to places that hold emotional significance. Yearning and longing for such places are universal across nations and cultures, whether religious or secular. A history lover enjoys visiting museums, ancient sites, and historical libraries. A civilization enthusiast delights in wandering among ruins and relics, seeking lessons from the past. Even the passionate lover finds joy in visiting places his beloved once walked, shedding tears and reciting poetry. Thus, the value of a place does not lie in its physical structure, but in its symbolism, memories and meanings that uplift the soul and comfort the heart. In such places, one undergoes a profound inner transformation, becoming renewed. Mecca and the sacred mosque that houses the Kaaba have held a special place in Muslim hearts since the time of the Messenger, PBUH. There, the believer feels tranquility and reverence, escaping the exhausting chase after life's illusions. Time spent in these spiritual realms elevates the soul above materialism, opening the mind to reflection and remembrance. Just being in the sacred precincts of Mecca, this very place where angels descended to help build the first house of worship for mankind, where Abraham, Hagar, and Ishmael walked, where the archangel Gabriel descended to deliver divine revelation to the seal of prophets, is a spiritually overwhelming experience. Recalling these events at their exact locations floods the soul with light that cleanses it in a mysterious way beyond the comprehension of materialists and sensualists. Mecca, may God preserve and honor it, still holds an exalted position in the hearts of Muslims, young and old, from every corner of the earth. No wish is dearer to them than to embark on the journey of a lifetime, to walk where the Prophet walked, where he suffered for the sake of humanity's salvation, enduring what even great men might not bear. It was in this very mosque where he demonstrated the greatest act of forgiveness the world has ever seen after 13 years of torture by his enemies. On the 20th of Ramadan, in the 8th year of Hijrah, he gathered all his former enemies and said the immortal words that defined Islam's ethos of mercy: "Go, for you are free." Hajj dear reader, is filled with lofty meanings and noble goals. It begins by stripping away worldly appearance, luxury, and adornment. The pilgrim dons two simple white garments, symbolizing purity and the shroud of death, a reminder of life's fleeting nature and the inevitability of its end, which recognizes no distinction between king and pauper. The state of Ihram also reflects equality. All people become as equal as the teeth of a comb, distinguished only by their deeds. A poor man may find himself shoulder to shoulder with a billionaire, both dressed the same, performing the same rites. Where else might you find, for example, Elon Musk and a homeless man from New York performing the same rituals, standing in the same place, at the same time? People love to circle things they admire, from pyramids to historic sites. Why, then, is it strange that Muslims circle the Kaaba, a structure rich in history, symbols, and spiritual depth, again and again, until their breath is stolen, but their longing is not satisfied? They return year after year, and each time the Kaaba appears anew, radiant and alive, perfuming their souls with heaven's scent. Leaving behind towering buildings and royal palaces, to live in simple tents carries profound moral value. Many great thinkers have preferred simplicity over opulence. In those tents, pilgrims are reminded of life's fragility, of its transience, of the futility of hoarding wealth. Life is, after all, a short journey from one white cloth, birth, to another, death. Then comes the day of Arafah, the greatest day of Hajj, when millions gather, dressed in white, humbled and devoted, chanting prayers and supplications with a joy only known to those who've tasted it. This gathering is unlike any other known to mankind, a sublime event unmatched in all human history. In another ritual, pilgrims gather before a pillar symbolizing Satan, the embodiment of evil, and cast stones at it. In doing so, they symbolically hurl away their greed, arrogance, pride, and base desires. It's an act of rejecting all that weighs the soul down, aspiring instead to the heights worthy of the honored being before whom angels once bowed. On the day of sacrifice, many poor Muslims taste meat they rarely afford, as the generosity of pilgrims spreads not only in Makkah but across the world. And as they prepare to leave, many pilgrims wish they could leave their hearts behind, circling the Kaaba forever. When a pilgrim returns home, especially in some Muslim countries, they proudly adopt the title Hajji before their name, more precious to them than prince or sir. So tell me, you apostates, atheists, deists, and secularists, where did you see us worship stones that neither harm nor benefit? Where did you see us circling graves like fanatics? Where did you see us crushed into crowds around meaningless relics like tourists before the Mona Lisa, or cheering at nonsense on stage? The sacred experience of Hajj has transformed countless souls. Writers from both East and West have captured its beauty in heartfelt books full of sincerity and unfiltered emotion. Many return from Hajj feeling reborn, more refined, more spiritual, and closer to God. They speak and write of their journey with profound longing, praying that fate grants them another chance, to reunite with the hearts they left circling the Kaaba, forever in orbit around the most sacred place on earth.
من كل فج عميق